Hello there. Disclaimer from future me. Within the time that it took to make this video, this overdue, unnecessary time it took to make this video, NakeyJakey released a video talking about the same subject. So if you comment about, oh, I stole the video idea from him, I've been working on this since August. Anyways, subscribe. Love you, Jakey.
The realm of video games is quite an interesting place. It's not exactly like other forms of media, you know? As time goes on, people are still figuring out what you can and cannot do with that, whether it be from gameplay and stylistic choices, the technological advances they can make graphically, the unique and interesting stories they can create, or how they choose to market the game. Okay, look, alright, look at me, look, eyes. Okay, I'm basically making a video on how they put Pizza Hut into a video game, okay? Because you gotta get more of those video essays in, right? Now, before we had Pizza Hut in our consoles and games, we had our games on Pizza Hut. In the summer of '99, Pizza Hut partnered up with Sony to release 3 PS1 demo discs. These featured demos for some of the console's biggest games: ZTR, Thups 1, Ape Escape, Gran Turismo 2, Crash 3, Metal Gear Solid. Do I have to continue? Personally, I never got to experience these, seeing as how I didn't leave the womb until 2003, but their legacy is colossal across gamers who did. They even incorporated money prizes with each disc, both increasing in size with every issue. This is just one of the bigger examples of video games being intertwined with brand marketing. Since the early-ish 90s, corporations and brands started doing tie-in commercials with popular video game properties, like Sonic running with Jerry Seinfeld B for a commercial brand that tastes like sawdust combined into a circular morning breakfast. But mainly the most common use of gamer thingy plus consumption used by the mainstream public has been in commercials. Oddly enough, a lot of them utilized Sonic, a lot. Also, oddly enough, Mountain Dew and Xbox had a collaboration that just turned an original Xbox from black to green. Noodle made a great video on this Xbox, and the lengths you had to go just to achieve this vomit piss Xbox color is fucking ludicrous, but Though Mountain Dew and Microsoft wouldn't stop swapping their spit after that, there were plenty of Halo, Gugga Wugga, Chug Chug brand deals along with the accompanying Doritos chip too. This made the ultimate gamer match in heaven. But once that 7th generation rolled on in, and with the 360's layout and they just straight up started incorporating Taco Bell ads right in your home screen, right next to the Master Chief, you know, which this leads us to... In the same year that Pizza Hut did the PS1 demo discs, Crazy Taxi hit arcade shelves? Arcade floors? Yeah, okay. Arcade floors. Developed and published by Sega, Crazy Taxi is an absolute beautiful fucking frenzy of what anyone who never visited California in the 90s would figure it'd be like. The style and whole attitude of this game is just so charming, and personally, I love it. It's great. With its bad religions, highly stylized characters, stupid ass arcadey controls, and the I love it. It's also nice seeing all the sights and wonders of California.
They put the Czar in the video game czar.
Yes. This is where all that fucking Pizza Hut talk has been leading up to. And it's not because I'm sponsored. That could change though. Pizza Hut. But it's because, well, Pizza Hut was just really active with video games at the time. But not only were you able to pick passengers up from the za, but you can get them and drop them off at the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Crazy Taxi features not only those, but product placement by Fila, never knew how to pronounce it, and Levi's. In the book, game design complete, written by Patrick O. What the fuck? It is considered that Crazy Taxi has one of the most prominent uses of product placement within a video game. These product placements would be later taken out in other re-releases of the game, but luckily, through the process of the internet, you can mod these all back into your game on the Steam version. Fucking phew. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, so they put a couple brands in Crazy Taxi, you know, nothing more, nothing less to that. And you'd think that the video was done. Here's my funny, you know, outro. No, wrong. Because as you see, your microscopic cerebellum is too feeble and small to realize the fact that it did not stop after this. No. There's more. Ramen, Monster, Soap Shoes, Duracell, Fight Night, Round 3, Burger King, Ring, Dole, Bananas, Skittles, Obama. Thank you. That was my first time out at poetry. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Crazy Taxi looks kind of far and few with what we see in video games nowadays. Like, we got Norman Reedus chugging a nice cold of diesel juice in a world where you live in an apocalyptic America and transport goods like these. Let's just say it's not expected. Although, to be honest, it's really not a problem that there is product placement like this in a Crazy Taxi or Tony Hawk or etc. You know, I'm not shitting myself with rage because I see a Mountain Dew billboard or a T-Mobile Sidekick flaunting around. It is to be expected because in the case of a Timothy Bird, it's blending in with the skating culture and reality to an extent, at least, you know? Or like how in A Need for Speed, when I'm seeing ads for Obama. What? Okay. But in a game like Mario Kart 8, I don't know what fucking reality or aesthetic they're trying to work into here, where I'm driving around in a fucking Mercedes 300 SL Roadster as a giant monkey. I don't look at me. I don't know. Like, obviously, I know I don't hold any fucking powers when it comes to these mega corporations and companies making business deals. I would be surprised and be put, 6 feet below if I woke up one day and Nintendo was like, video by CurlyAMC brought us to our senses, and we have decided to no longer do these transactions with corporations. Thank you. Also, Walter White for Smash Bros. It's just the idea of having these two correlate along with this fucking commercial. It is just an oddity I didn't think I would ever get. Oh, but don't get me fucking wrong, I still use these. The body has great accelerations. But would you believe me, it was weirder. Before the days of the PS1 demo discs or KFC taxi pickups,
We had McDonald's and our Nintendo.
who put the fries in my nuts? We had games strictly dedicated to product marketing called advert games, jumping as far back as 1983 with the arcade game Tapper. Now, Austin, you may be asking, what is a advert game? Well, let me tell you. Basically, an advert game just features the sole contents of the game focused and centered around the product of focus. So, for example, Tapper, this featured sponsorship from Anheuser-Busch, the company that pretty much owns all 4 of the main burrs. Since then, advert games have come in all shapes and sizes, qualities, and M&M kart racing. Funny enough, I used to actually have this game when I was younger for the Wii. I don't know how CPS didn't get a hold of this information sooner, but I've grown through the trauma. There were a lot of McDonald's games for the NES, mainly platformers, ranging from MC Kids, which isn't as cool as it sounds, Donald Land. Even after the time of the NES, McDonald's still had games that lived on strong, especially with the E-Crew development program. In this game, you can get first-hand experience of what it's like to work in an underpaid environment. Famous women belong to the kitchen Burger King threw their hat into the ring too, with the one and only blood-curdling hallucination that will appear when the control of your legs and body begin to cease at 2:43 a.m. on a Monday morning. The motherfucking King, baby! Whoa! And I picked the mic with that one. Known as the King games, but personally, I like to call them my holy trinity that will get me babes every time. These puppies were promotional games that you could get from November to December of 2006 alongside your Whopper and inside your Diet Coke. These 3 games were originally meant for Xbox Live Arcade, but were considered such high of quality. Burger King switched them over to being a box product with compatibility between Xbox 360s and the original Xbox. The most popular out of all 3 is Sneak King, but the other siblings are a fucking oddity too. The first one is Pocket Bike Racer, which features Brooke Burke of Dancing with the Stars fame. The second one is Big Bumpin', which happens to be the better received one out of the 3. And lastly, we have Sneak King, which is an anomaly of its own. Although I wouldn't be an honest-to-God, trustworthy YouTube man if I didn't mention... Holy shit. What mortal man with the power of God blessed us with this creation of Pepsi Man? It fucking baffles my mind that he wasn't carried over to American marketing for Pepsi, because he would have sold millions, especially with the game Pepsi Man. But did you know that for the Saturn game of Fighting Vipers, released in '95, you scrawny little bitch could play as Pepsi Man himself, and you could, as Pepsi Man, do I actually had no idea about this until I looked up more facts about Pepsi Man, which I didn't think I would ever have in my search history. Though 4 years later, we would get the game Pepsi Man for the PS1. Except when I say we, I do not mean we as in the French. I mean we as in Americans. This game was strictly for the Japanese audience, yet for some reason fully English. I don't get it.
You got it! Yeah! Woo!
I'm not gonna talk anymore about this game because it would make for a great video in the future, but I wouldn't be the true-to-earth, straightforward, stunning chap if I didn't say that this is probably one of the best games out of all of these avid games. That is, until you are able to date the Colonel. This is not a drill. You can date the Colonel. I swear to Allah, Christ man above, when I saw this, I thought I forgot to take my medication, because it was just, where was the market for a sexy Colonel Sanders, and why wasn't I informed? Jesus Christ, this was a fucking trek through the delusional part of hell, featuring checks. Marketing in video games are this medium of creativity that will never really have a consistent release or idea. On one hand, marketing within other video game properties is still a valuable and smart decision, no matter how baffling it may be or the partnerships are. But on the other hand, advert games themselves have kind of gone the way of the Zune. Aside from the fact that before KFC lick up and down that deep fried cock, we hadn't gotten an advert game since Doritos Crash Course. Though when we do, it's always a random stick the hand in the jar and see what comes out scenario. You don't know if it's going to be a Metal Gear Solid clone, an auto runner, a platformer, a dating simulator. We don't know what the fuck it's going to be. Which, at the end of the day, is fine. As long as you're making a good game that I am willing to spend my Monopoly money on, this is fine. Make the game, make it good. That's really all I care. I'll play a game where I play as Burger King mascot. If it's like an RPG, I'll play it for like 20 hours if it's good. I'll spend my hard-earned sweat, blood-sown dollars on it. Just take the fries out of my NES, please.